Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Alrav from Quebec, Canada. And before I was known as the author and creator of Agatras the Protector / Agatras le Protector, back in 2015 I was a Deviantart user under a slightly different name. So I took part in a challenge that consisted of uploading one piece of drawing per day for an entire year on the site. Suffice to say that I did not make it to the end, but I did archive about 100 drawings or so, and so I felt it was time to showcase them again for the first time in many years. So the first sketch that I show here is a sketch of Daredevil from Marvel Comics, simply because he is one of the easiest superheroes to draw. And so of course I no longer do fan art like these, but if you ever wanted to see what my art would look like drawing established characters, then this series of videos is for you specifically. So here is Captain Falcon from Super Smash Bros. So most of the drawing here they are based on comic book characters, but I did took some liberties with some video game characters as well. So here is a weird, crappy redesign of Sonic the Hedgehog. Here is a sketch of Martian Manhunter from DC Comics. After that, some practice material. Oh, I get a sketch of Batman, again from DC Comics. Here is a sketch of Superman from DC Comics as well. So I think the subsequent drawings are all based on DC characters, but I'm going to get to more stuff after. So here is a Green Lantern. So there's the John Stewart portrait on the back, but the main figure of Hal Jordan is showcased here. So that's the drawing that I made from back then. Green Arrow, again from DC Comics. Now here's a drawing of The Flash, again from DC Comics. And now it's time for Aquaman, again from DC Comics. And here is a Cyborg from DC Comics. Once again, his design here is based on one of his older look of sort for the character. I think it was based on a figure of sort. So this is a Wonder Woman, again from DC Comics. I've sort of improvised her design a little since she has a very inconsistent recurring look for a character, so that's why I did it. And here is a Hawkgirl from DC Comics again. And here is another drawing of Batman, this time with a bit more city backdrop and a little Batarang that's hidden in the arm. So at the time I didn't do any sort of inking or tracing of my artwork. It was purely with pencils, so that's why the characters look the way they do. So here is Catwoman from DC Comics. And here is I believe it's Shazam, who was also known as Captain Marvel, but was since renamed as Shazam, again from DC Comics. And here is the Flash doing a racing competition against a crappy, realistic looking Sonic the Hedgehog. I think I may have predicted the design of the character that showed up in the trailer for the 2020 Sonic film. You know, the trailers were criticized for the weird, bad looking Sonic, and he was eventually redesigned. So yeah, I may have predicted this from back then, before the film ever came out. So now here's Batman and Superman, again from DC Comics. And here's one of my video game redesigns of sorts. So there's a Mario riding some sort of dinosaur that's supposed to be Yoshi of sort. Again in a classic heroic style. My own art style itself is a modified version of the classic Marvel way of drawing, so I don't really move on that much from it, but I have more drawing to show of that. So here's another showcase of that style, except that here it's Bowser holding Mario and Peach. So again, another good video game redesign of sort. Now my two redesign of Mario and Sonic going at it with one another. So again with a weird Marvel-esque redesign. So here's a drawing of Black Canary from DC Comics with a super deformed version of Green Arrow next to her. I think the reason I made this particular drawing is because at the time somebody asked me to do something with the team, but I sort of improvised it a little bit. No, it was going to be an adult stuff, but I said no. So that's it. Now here is a Supergirl and Batgirl playing a weird boxing robot game of sort, with both Superman and Batman being showed. So again from DC Comics. This is just one of my practice doodling from the time. Now here is the first Marvel drawing, a collection of super deformed characters. So I've got Spider-Man, Iron Man, Thor, Jean Grey as the Phoenix. I've got Hulk, Captain America and Wolverine all in one page. Another Marvel style drawing with the same super deformed proportion, but I've got now a different gallery of character. So I've got Doctor Strange, Nova, Deadpool, Storm, Daredevil, Luke Cage, Thing, and She-Hulk, I believe. That must be her. And now another collection of super deformed Marvel characters, but again this time it's the heroes fighting against various villains. So there's the Green Goblin here, there's the Mandarin, the Absorbing Man, and Juggernaut within it. So this is a bunch of collection shot of Spider-Man from Marvel Comics. So again, there's no particular drawing here, it's just practice material that I get to show. And this is a collection of sketches based on Kirby. As I was practicing my art at the time, I sort of trained a little bit on video game characters as they appear in some of the very old video game manuals that they no longer do. Here's another collection of super deformed characters with slightly different proportions. So I've got several characters here. I think War Machine, Hulk, Moon Knight, Punisher, Ghost Rider, and Black Widow, all from Marvel Comics. More practice sketches of Spider-Man from Marvel Comics. As I was training with the Marvel way at the time. And now this is something a little bit different. The video is about to end, so I'm going to be cutting it here. But beside the comic based characters and some video game redesign, I also did some colored drawings. So look forward to part 2 where I'll be showing more of these.